Welcome back to Darlington, where 21 is there. Johnny Sauter, 17 laps complete, and Sauter is the leader of this race. Past Stanton Barrett for the lead. Barrett was out front from the drop of the green flag for the first 15 laps. Let's show you how the lead changed hands.
He's looking for a payday, baby.
And that's a whatchamacallit.
Yeah. He went boogity, boogity, boogity down that back straightaway, Larry.
But you have to believe, with the way things have been so hectic here this week, especially with him hitting the wall, that they tested here for 2 days, said they run almost 600 laps. That has to be paying off, I would think, for him today.
Well, if nothing else, it gives you some comfort level, you know, as far as what the track's like and what you can expect. And, man, he's taken a lead, and he's just driven off and left everybody.
Barrett's about to surrender second place to Scott Wimmer.
Now,
right here with these two idiots.
Right here, he needs to let him go, because he gets himself in trouble. Yeah, he did. See,
and here comes Keller right back for second place.
He's going to lose several positions.
That's a momentum thing, and it was because they had to race each other down in that corner, and he'd lose a little momentum there. And Wimmer,
oh no!
Looking inside, 3 wide, you're in the middle.
Well,
man, what a traffic jam.
Kurt Busch made that work yesterday.
Traffic jam here, guys. This is getting a little edgy.
That's not the right place for Brian Vickers in that 5 car to be on the apron getting into turn 3. And we're looking right there. We're looking at pretty much from about 2nd all the way back to 10th.
I got to think Barrett's thinking, man, a little while ago I got here cruising, leading this race, and really kind of enjoying today. But, man, the intensity has picked up.
Now they're ganging up on him.
Yeah, Brian Vickers went past for 4th, and now Todd Bodine's coming after him there for 5th, and it's a swarm. Vickers isn't done. He's after Jason Keller. 3rd place.
Todd Bodine in that 92 car. His car looks like it's getting better as we get on into this run, and that's the thing. You can go out there and you can run hard on tires at Darlington and be good for 10 laps, but if you use up too much, Stanton Barrett, he's on the verge of losing another position. You're going to really pay the price here at lap 20 through about 40.
Todd Bodine, he runs really good here. I think he's got about 13 top 5s here, Larry.
And he always has run well here. See Jamie McMurray back there, the orange car, the 1 car started back in 22nd position, and he just passes, and I think that's a battle for, about 10th. He just passed Randy LaJoy for 10th. This is the same car that he just mutilated the field with at Rockingham a few weeks ago. And this is when it gets tough, Darrell. They're starting to catch all these lap cars, and your car's not driving that good anyhow. It's sliding around.
3 wide, Larry, 3 wide.
Randy LaJoy, Stanton Barrett.
Man, Barrett did a really good job of holding his line. Yeah, he stayed right in the middle, and he let a car go around on each side of him.
They had the lap car there of Mike Harmon, and as Barrett had a little indecision which way to go, they ganged up on him on both sides. Now Barrett can clear Harmon. But now there's another lap car down on the bottom of the racetrack. That's the number 16 of Larry Gunselman.
See, that's a timing thing. What you try to do is lay back over there in the middle of 1 and 2, and then you can get such a great run on guys that are pedaling it up off that corner. Same thing that Kurt Busch did yesterday to Jeff Gordon and Elliott Sadler to take the lead.
Boy, you see Joe Nemechek, an 87 car, just about a half a lap ago, bailing off into turn 3. If Stacy Compton had got on the brakes, he would have drop-kicked Joe Nemechek, because Joe was running way too fast to get in the corner and had to get on his brakes.
Darrell, I've heard you talk about this before, but first, Johnny Sauter, our leader, had a little tense moment here. I'll show you.
Here he goes down into turn 1, and see, he just going in under another car. The guy on the outside just is putting you both in jeopardy.
But here, Darrell, you got to look to the spotter a little bit, I think, because Gunselman was the car in the last almost incident, was trying to stay on the bottom of the racetrack. Should the spotter know where that lap car is apt to go?
You got to look at the resume. How many times has a cat run here? Because that's guys that haven't run here a lot, they don't know to let that guy on the inside go. But the spotter's got to tell him, too. I'm not you're right about that, but experience here is how you learn that, and it's usually not from good experience.
And the trouble, oh, pow, turn 4.
Bunch of cars.
And that happened just the way you described it. Michael's in the middle of it.
Caution is out.
The yellow car there caught a slow car, and everybody piled up. That was Kerry Earnhardt, the yellow car.
Yep.
He caught a slower car, and the whole field just accordioned right to him. David Green's car all messed up.
Yep.
First caution of the day.
The old Dream Machine, she's done.
Kevin Grubb, the 26 car, he looks like he maybe got the worst of it.
And Larry Gunselman. You know, there's nowhere to run here, nowhere for the lap cars to hide. And there was Gunselman, who we saw with Johnny Sauter a minute ago and saw in that debacle in the backstretch.
It's hard to get out of the way here.
And I'm sorry, I made a mistake. That's the car I was looking at. That was not Kevin Grubb. It is Larry Gunselman in 16. There you see Kerry Earnhardt comes in here in the top 10 in points. David Green, who realistically would be the points leader because Kevin Harvick not in this race. You see, he went straight to the garage.
Let's see if we can figure out what happened here.
Yeah, watch the 16, the slow car. Now, it's going to happen ahead of him. Because watch Kerry Earnhardt in the yellow number 12. He's coming up on Michael in the wall.
Michael got in the wall again.
Yeah. Michael got in the wall, and Kerry didn't quite get checked up enough. He got into Michael. Here comes David Green and the rest of these guys.
And that's actually the same place Michael got in the wall just a few laps ago.
Got it up against the wall there, and Kerry ran into the back of him. See, there's Michael in it pretty hard. Kerry's got a run down in there, and you just can't stop these things, you know.
Not only that, Darrell, Kerry had a car inside of him as well.
Let's see this.
The car inside was David Green.
Now, all of our leaders are on pit road. 4 tires making adjustments. Matt Yoakum.
And they're going to make an air pressure adjustment, Larry Mack, on Johnny Sauter's car. He said it's just way too loose at the beginning of the run, then it tightens up, but it's especially loose down in 1 and 2. A little bit of trouble on the left front. He's down and away to Steve Burns.
Well, Matt, 4 tires for Scott Wimmer. Wimmer describing his car as just a little bit loose off the center, from the center off. 4 tires, no other adjustments for the 23. They want to adjust the brake, and Wimmer is out ahead of the 60 in the 92, caught him right at the end of pit road.
Well, it was quite a race off the end of pit road.
Sure was. Caution out for the first time today. Probably won't be the last. The DarlingtonRaceway.com 200. A 4-car crash puts us under the first caution of the day. Michael Waltrip bounced off the wall, was hit by Kerry Earnhardt, who had nowhere to go. David Green was down on the inside, got swept up in it, along with Larry Gunselman. Matt? Come back to Matt in a moment. Here's Steve Burns.
Mike, just to follow up on the pit stop of Scott Wimmer, I just spoke to crew chief Chris Rice. He said the only adjustment they made to that 23 was to drop air pressure all the way around to give Wimmer a little more forward bite, a little more grip.
Steve, you going to make it back to the studio this afternoon for Totally NASCAR?
I think Larry Mack and I will do it via remote from here at
okay.
Darlington. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Theoretically, we could make it. But,
Wouldn't want to miss that.
No.
Absolutely not. We'll talk about the most exciting race we have seen in years from yesterday here with Ricky Craven and Kurt Busch. 2 1/1000ths of a second difference. But yeah, this place, it's the whole challenge is getting grip. And when you can let that air pressure down on those tires where you don't hurt it so much at the beginning of a run, it's going to make it much better at the end of a long run.
See, if everybody knew, excuse me, if everybody knew how to drive this racetrack, if everybody had 25, 30 years of experience, you wouldn't have all these problems. But you get experienced drivers and inexperienced drivers. The experienced driver expects the inexperienced driver to do what he wants him to do or needs to do. When he doesn't, they run over each other.
Green flag. We'll restart to begin lap 32. Todd Bodine out in front of Scott Wimmer, Johnny Sauter, Scott Riggs, and Mike Bliss.
I mean, this track is not like any other. There's things that you have to do here that are a little different everywhere else. Just like if you're on the inside going into turn 1, you got to let that guy go on. Fall in behind him. It's a little bit that way down into turn 3.
We talked about this a little bit yesterday, that the whole goal here is to race the racetrack and then dodge those that forget to race the racetrack.
Report on Michael Waltrip was he cut a right rear tire. That's what sent him into the wall down in the corner.
See our pole sitter Stanton Barrett in the 60 car. He's back to 14th. They had kind of a slow pit stop that hurt him as well.
And another big factor here is a good handling car will run all over the back of a car that's not handling so well. And then the guy not handling so well, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know which way you're going to go. And he gets in your way. Steve Burns.
Hey, DW, we can add on the Stanton Barrett situation. The crew told him to take it early, or take it easy early in this race, but they said that he actually used up his tires too quickly early in the run, and that's why he dropped back before the pit stop.
I mean, it's so easy to do here, Darrell. I mean, you know you can run faster, and you run faster, but then you pay the price for late in the run.
Plus, leading, when you haven't led a Busch race, leading feels real good.
It does, and again, experience will tell you, okay, I can't do this. I can't keep hammering it this way, or I'll run out of tires. These guys, unlike Winston Cup guys, they have a limited number of tires they can use. I mean, they don't come in every time there's a caution flag and throw tires on these things.
Yeah, they only have 3 sets that they can use on the caution. They've already used up 1 set.
Battle for 10th place, Ron Hornaday, Randy LaJoie. Here's Matt.
Well, Mike, drivers have so much control they can gain or lose time once they're on pit road. What happened to Johnny Sauter as he was making his way to his pit? He saw the 2 sign, which used to be his sign. He drove for the 2 car last year. He slowed down to make his entry to the pit and then realized he's in the 21. He had to get back in the gas, had to go an extra 4 pits down to the 21 pit. He felt like that lost time was what really cost him the lead.
Back straightaway, 1 car spins to the inside. That's Mike Harmon.
The 44 car, caution is out. Caution is out.
Man, he killed the front of that thing. But I know what he's talking about, because when I drove 17 almost my whole career, and then all of a sudden I was driving 66. I drove right by it a couple of times.
Well, thanks, Matt, because now I don't feel so bad for having called the 2 Sauter earlier in the day.
But I have a suggestion, because remember, Johnny Sauter is doing double duty, driving the 21 car when Kevin Harvick's not driving it, driving the 43 car. I think they need to put his name up there. Johnny Sauter, Matt Yoakum.
You know, Larry, one other thing, when Kevin Harvick was driving in the Busch Series part-time last year, what they would do is they would actually change the pit board signs, because Harvick wanted the happy face, and he was used to that. And that's why when he ran limited schedule last year, he actually got the happy face, and they gave Sauter a different pit board sign.
That's it. That's the way to do it. Give Sauter 1 pit board sign to take with him whatever car he drives. Sadly, Mike Harmon won't be around to see the finish of this one, not from the racetrack.
Coming off that turn real low. Car starts to slide out. He tries to keep it off of whoever that white car was.
Regan Smith. Regan Smith, yeah.
And the back end just came around. It's hard to come off that corner under somebody.
Boy,
he actually got into Regan.
Regan, who is a rookie, was lucky to save it.
Yeah. It's another one of those places where you don't need to be trying to do that right there.
This early in the race especially.
37 laps are complete at Darlington Raceway. You're watching the NASCAR Busch Series on FX.